Hello, hello, my tarot maniacs. Guys, I am over the moon. So, I did want this year to be like a year of accountability because I was doing all the really fun predictions the last couple of years for New Year's. And I said, you know what? It would be really interesting to grade those. Oh my gosh, guys, this is my BFF, Kay. I talk about her all. This is my Greek friend. She's my Greek friend. I talk about her all the time. So, yeah, Dave, Kay, I'm so glad you're here. I actually got a phone call. I was actually talking to Barney, and the headset picked up. Opa! So my headset picked up when I did the recording. So it is what it is. Guys, Kay is the sister that I should have had. She's absolutely a soul sister to me. So Kay, I miss you. We need to hang out. It's cold. We got to bring you down here. I know it's just same temperature where you are, but so guys, 89% accuracy, and oh, I love you too, Kay. 89% accuracy on the Britney Spears predictions from 2025. I cannot be more excited about that. And I want you guys to know that while my psychic ability did come in and kind of tap me on the shoulder, I do work really hard at it. In fact, one of the things that I was talking to Barney about this weekend, I guess his Mega Millions is going off. I think it's $1 billion. And so Barney was like, can't you just get some numbers? And I was like, you know what? Tonight I'm going to work on getting some numbers. I go, but you have to buy the ticket with me. And if we win, I go, you get to say I don't believe in psychics. And I get to say psychic wins the lottery. And we'll both charter some yachts and we'll have a race down to some island someplace. So yes, so good times with Barney. So I'm going to try and win us $1 billion. We'll split it. And he said, oh, no, give me the numbers. I'll give you a piece, but I'm not going no, we're going to split it. We're going to split it. Hi, Cindy. Glad you're catching alive. So, all right, guys, we are going to be talking about Britney Spears and her 2026 predictions. We are going to predict what's going on. Zephyr, of course you're going to be on that yacht. We can't go anywhere without you. Dave Murphy said my accuracy with his private readings is 100%. That's wild. Thank you, Dave. Thank you. So I'm not going to be doing readings tonight, but I will be doing readings all weekend. So I will have open hours on Hypsee tomorrow. And I'll have open hours, I believe, on Sunday. I don't think I'm going to take Sunday off. So we're coming up on the holiday, and we've got a wedding. My nephew's getting married, so we've got stuff that we've got to do. So I want to make sure that I have enough open hours for you guys. But let's get to it. I got to get my outline here for our live. I hope everybody is having a great day. So let's do this. Bringing up that card view. If you haven't hit the like button, go hit it now. This is the time. This is your sign to hit the like button. So make these nice and big for you kitty cats and tomcats, everybody that's in the chat. So let's start out. We're going to go quarter by quarter with her. And I do think that we need to look at, just so you guys know, I have to be at physical therapy at 4. It is now 5 to 3. All right. So I'm going to be jamming out of here, but we're going to get a nice solid reading in here. Q1 for Britney. Q1 2026. Theme of it. Queen of Wands. Our girl is coming back. 4 of Pentacles. This tells me that she is rehearsing and she is doing something behind the scenes that is going to be relevant to a comeback. We're going to see Britney coming back, maybe, guys. Maybe we're going to see her coming back. So what are we looking at with her personal health? Okay, that's going to include her mental health here, guys. Personal health. Relationship with her sons, I think, is really important. And also What is this going to be? Hi, Pop Arkle. It's good to see you. It's Britney, bitch. I'm totally doing that. So we've got, but oh, yeah, you know what? Hang on. We're going to do this a little bit at a time. I'm going to scoop these up. So we'll do it one at a time. I'm not going to do I'm too ADHD today. Relationship with her sons. Let's start there. Oh, 6 of Pentacles. She does not forgive those boys. Tower in reverse and the 4 of Cups. I think that the relationship with the sons has really, really been affected by Kevin Federline. I can't say it any other way. I think he has really, really affected her relationship with her sons. What can she do to fix that? What can she do to correct it? Ace of Swords, Page of Wands, sad squirrel. So I do think therapy is always a good answer. Hi, Sal, or Salt. Is that Salt or Sal? Hi, Sal. I think therapy is a good idea. I also think working is a good idea. I think both of her sons are somewhat involved in the music industry, but I have a feeling that her response when they reject her is very much, got your question, Mercury and Leo. I think it is very much, she gets very frustrated and turns into a toddler and kind of stamps her feet. So I think that we're going to have some issues with the son. She's got to have a more mature reaction to them maybe not being as generous with them. She's got to understand the scope of what they have been told about her. So what about her relationship, her personal relationships, like one-on-one partner relationship? Page of Wands, Temperance. You know what? I think she's still in that phase where, a good hot dog is better than no hot dog. I think there's a lot of energy in her that she is putting out there. She is a sex symbol. Unfortunately, she is. She's been a sex symbol since before she was legal to be a sex symbol. So there are a lot of people that want to have the novelty of taking up with Britney Spears. I think she should be careful about that. I think she should guard her heart. And, the idea of having these fun, pool guys, let's call them pool guys. I say they're good dancers, if they're good dancers. So these pool guys, she's really got to understand that there's separate lives. The problem with Britney Spears is that there are very few men that match that energy and match that level of celebrity. There's very, very few of them. Justin Timberlake was one of them. However, Justin Timberlake did not treat her very well. She didn't treat him very well. They were very young, and you can't keep going, on that. You can't just keep going with it because you met on Mickey Mouse Club. So I think anyone that she hooks up with in the first quarter of the year, she's got to look at it as these are, hit it and quit it. Hit it and quit it if that's what she's going to do. But I would like to see her attitude toward that kind of rampant sexuality dial back just a little bit. She is in her 40s, so that, all the hormones are going to start changing in a minute, and those drives are going to become a little bit different. If she wants to run him out to the end of the road, that's totally fine. But I do think she needs to kind of dial it back. I don't want to see her become Madonna. I don't want to see her crawling under a bed with her ass hanging out for the whole world to see when she's 65 years old. I just don't want to do that. Christine Scott, I got your question. Thank you for dropping all these questions, guys. I'm going to get to as many as I can. I got to go to physical therapy by 4. So her relationship with her parents, Q4, 4 of Pentacles. This is going to be in the courtroom. Mark my word, not in the courtroom, but it will be talked about in some lawyers' chambers. They are going to be discussing whether or not the relationship is viable, and they are going to try and mend some fences. Hi, Carla, sweetie pie. Some fences are going to try and be mended through legal means. Do I think she should do this? I think she should acknowledge them, and I think she should say, I have to think about it, and not necessarily cultivate that relationship with them. We may see them. Now, we heard rumors in I guess it was the third and fourth quarter of 2025, that they were maybe brewing on a new conservatorship, trying to get control of that. Now, I've said that I think Kevin is kind of coaching the boys to come along, and we'll look at that too. The boys to come along and kind of head up a conservatorship. So I think the parents are trying to get closer and warm their hands by the fire again without a conservatorship. So that's something I'm predicting for Q1. I think they're going to try and talk to her through lawyers, through attorneys. Massimo, we're just doing questions on Britney Spears. So I'm going to set up a live tomorrow for questions for you guys, but just Britney Spears right now. So we'll come back to that. Keep checking. And if you want, you could always do a recorded question for me on Hypsee. There is, I will drop a link. Let me see, is it right there? No, that's not it. And you drop a link for Hypsee. Paste. There you go. You can always buy a reading from me on there. Yes and no questions are free too. I think you can get into those yes and no questions as well. So back to where I was. All right. So health and boundaries for Q1. How is she going to be doing? Body, mind, and spirit. Body, mind, spirit. You know, some time ago, there was a tabloid rumor that Britney was looking for like a guru of sorts. You know, like who in Hollywood doesn't have a guru? Prince Andrew had one. Formerly, Prince Andrew had one. Build the crown, like 45,000 pounds or 35,000 pounds. So body, mind, and spirit. I think her mind is coming back. And I do think that there was a lot of medication pumped into this gal. And I think her mind is starting to really detox and reform. You know, you can rebuild the electrical pathways in your brain. There is some study on that it is possible to rebuild some of the pathways. But her body, she's got to, this judgment in reverse, she's got to understand. I just heard she hurt herself doing a backflip or a flip off a boat. And she's got to know that, you know, her body is not, it's not the body of an 18-year-old anymore. She's in great shape, but she's got to be careful. The mind starting to come back, but the spirit is busted. Her spirit is busted from this whole experience with her family, from the betrayal of the people around her, from the things that have been spilled in the Kevin Federline book. Britney Spears is long known as one of the nicest celebrities anybody's ever dealt with. Don't ask those paparazzis that she attacked with the umbrella. They deserved it, in my opinion. But she is well known as a really, really terrific person to work with and to work for. So, you know, when people are mean to her, it's not, she doesn't walk away from that without a piece of herself being broken off. She doesn't. That's what happens. It breaks her heart every time someone is mean to her. So the spirit is a little bit broken. What can she do to fix that? Spirit specifically, what do we do to fix the spirit? No more project people, Britney. Don't let project people in your life. If someone decides to come work for you and they say, yeah, can I get like a 6-month advance on my salary because I'm broke? No, don't. You cannot help people anymore. No more strays. No, empath soul. Thank you, Pop Oracle. Empath soul. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, she cannot help these strays anymore. She's got to let it go. I know a lot of people will tell us these sob stories and I really need the help. I really need some money. I really need this. I really need a place to stay. You can't. You got to put up those boundaries. This is a psychic boundary that I want to see her make sure that she flexes in the first quarter of the year. Let's move on to the second quarter. What is this theme of the second quarter of the year? Four of Cups in reverse. We're not thinking about it. We're going to be about it. She is going to be making some changes to the fundamentals in her life. Now, this is what I think. I'm going right to parents and kids. And I'm going to make a really bold statement right now. Okay, you can watch it on the rewatch. I'm going to make a really bold statement. Is she going to put some distance between her and her kids? Nine of Cups in reverse. Hangman in reverse. Eight of Pentacles. I think she's going to put some distance between her and her kids, which is absolutely heartbreaking. If you read the Kevin Federline book, if you looked at my review of it, which I have the last chapters coming this weekend, I'll be doing those. Kevin Federline says after she had Sean Preston, it was the happiest he ever saw her. That man knew that he was crushing her by taking those children away from her, and he participated in that. In the campaign to make her work so hard and told her they would let her see the kids. It's really, if she's got some issues, they should have made this a little bit easier on her. And he absolutely should not have taken those children. And he absolutely has said things to them. So I think Britney does come to a point where she says, these kids have been so poisoned against me. There's not much that I can do. And I think she doesn't give up, but takes her foot off the gas a bit. I think she takes her foot off the gas a bit. What about her parents? What about her parents? So I think that she hands off a piece of the Britney Spears machinery to them. I think she gives them, she doesn't leave them like destitute, like you're all fired, you're not doing anything. But I think she hands them something that they can independently, her mother and her father, can both kind of work with. It's not something that's going to make them multimillionaires, but I think she gives them a portion of the business. So if it's like, hey, I'm going to put you in charge of the fan club, or I'm going to put you in charge of the archives or the Britney Spears, Memorial Library or whatever it is. I think they get something that will stream a little income to like a few $1,000s a month, not a lot, not the way they were living. I think that this is her way of exiting from the relationship. Do we see her getting close with her dad ever again? No, not a chance in the world. Do we see a chance of her getting close with her mom again? I don't think so. I think they are very professional level relationships now. I think there's a lot of legal stuff that goes on in between. Sticking in Q2, let's take a look at professionally. She's chomping at the bit to get out there, but she does need, I do think she wants to get back in the studio, get back to performing, but I don't think she has a lot of support from the mechanisms in Hollywood that allow those things to happen. And Lou Taylor, we're gonna stay away from Lou Taylor. Has Lou Taylor blackballed her in the industry? Yeah, I think she has. I think Lou Taylor has let people know Britney's mine. Don't touch her. Don't touch her. Is that going to stick? Is that going to stick? I think it does. Huh. It sticks for those of you on the vertical. We got 6 of Wands and Emperor there. I think it sticks for some time. I think Lou Taylor has kind of kicked the stool out from under Britney for a bit. I think it's very, very hard for her to get back to work. Hi, Greg. What's up? What is that?
That's what was blocking her.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Good, gross.
But we have green sugar.
I don't want to vomit.
It's just rust.
I want to vomit. All right, guys, moving on. Actually, we're going to take a segue just for a minute, and let's look at Britney's relationship with Jamie Lynn, her sister. There's another book that you can read. Britney's relationship with Jamie Lynn. Oh, now that's kind of sweet. So now here's the thing. Jamie Lynn needs Britney more than Britney needs Jamie Lynn. And I do think that there is going to be a change to the relationship. And I think Britney is going to realize how much power she has to wield over her sister. Not in a bad way, though. I don't think it's in a bad way. I don't think she's going to be like, you will do my bidding. I don't think she's going to do that. But I do think that she takes an upper hand. And I think she takes a page out of the British royal family, and she will always have someone present if she has to talk to Jamie Lynn. Even if it's on a phone call, she will always have a third party that is with her, supporting her. I think one of the things she wants to do is silence Jamie Lynn from saying any more bad things about her. And I think that that's fair enough. Fair enough. How about Britney's relationship with Kevin while we're in the middle of the year? Britney's relationship with Kevin. I believe he said he hasn't spoken with her in a number of years. 9 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, Star, Ace of Swords, High Priestess, and the King of Swords. I think Britney really realizes now that this relationship was very, very transactional. And as long as she kept, feeding the pig, giving him money, keeping a roof over his head, even if it was under the guise of, like every bag of weed that guy has smoked since they broke up has been on Britney. I think she realizes that she is so much better than him and so much better off not being with him. I think she has a lot of regrets, but there's nothing you can do about that at this point. And I think she sees him for what he is. And this is something that she's intellectually excising from her life. Is she going to say anything bad about him? Absolutely not. She is far too sweet for that. Let's go to Q3. Q3, guys. Q3. Q3. What do we see for Britney? So Q3, guys, starts in July. Summertime. I'm predicting she's going to be in fabulous shape, and everyone's going to go, "Oh, Britney looks really healthy. Why she look so good? Why does Britney look so good?" You know why? Because she's going to be rehearsing for something. How's her professional world going? The sun. Six of Cups, guys. We're getting Britney back. We're getting the girl back. And King of Wands. There's not a lot of people that are going to want to touch her with the 10-foot pole. I think she may come back and do a residency, but I don't think it's going to be in Vegas. I think she's going to come to Atlantic City, and I think she's going to do a series of shows in Atlantic City. I don't know why. Here in New Jersey, I do think she's going to come do a series of shows in New Jersey, and then maybe she'll do a series, not like a long-term, like 6 months residency, but I think she's going to do like a block of shows. Very, very cool. Maybe she'll go in the Sphere. Oh my God, I would love to see her in the Sphere. How cool would that be? Professionally, she is on fire. On fire, Q3. Hi, Alexander. Good to see you. She is fabulous, isn't she? Looks like the third quarter of 2026, Alexander is going to be phenomenal for her. So how is she going to be doing? Body, mind, and spirit, Q3. Body, back in business. Mind, spirit. Spirit's still a little bit lacking here. And the mind, I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on her in Q3. Body's going to be phenomenal. She's going to be doing great. I think this will be because she's going to be promoting something. Yep. All right. So guys, and I know I reference this all the time. Hi, OSV. So when I lived in Los Angeles, it was right before the Blair Witch movie came out. A number of our friends started telling us about this found footage and blah, blah, blah. And they were part of the guerrilla marketing team. And they told us later after the movie, it did get us to go and see the movie. We did go see the movie. But I think there's going to be something like that. We're going to see her out and about. We're going to see her looking great, acting great, not acting amok. You know, I think we're going to get a little bit more sophistication out of her. I don't think we're going to have quite the gritty Britney. And that was one of the things they talked about in one of the documentaries, is that the costumes when she did the Vegas residency were very trashy. They weren't in great shape. They weren't of great quality. They were a little too slutty. You know, there were a lot of straps. Oh, I did not ask the clone question. I will ask the clone question. So I think whatever is going to be going on with her is really going to be under wraps. It's going to be under wraps, but we are going to be seeing the marketing in real time in how she behaves. Yes, Alexander, I am so stoked about the Woman in Me biopic too. We're going to take a look at that. Hang on. So how is her relationship with her family in Q3? Britney, yes, Greg. So the relationship with her family, meaning like her parents and her siblings and all that, I think it is a work in progress. And I think they do try and restart it, but she's got them all at an arm's length. Yes, Alexander, absolutely. Those Vegas costumes were crappy because of her crappy dad. 100%. 100%. Do not disagree. I do not disagree. So I do think that the family is going to try and reel her in and be a little bit closer with her in Q3. And she's going to have them at an arm's length. What about her sons in Q3? I think in Q3, the boys, now there's two of them, so one could be more apt than the other, but I think they are going to realize that there was some parenting estrangement going on, and not necessarily just at the hands of Kevin Federline, but also at the hands of her parents. I think the boys are starting to realize that, like, even though they were not born into a normal family, I mean, you can't be the children of the pop princess and have a normal life. You're not going to have a normal life. But I think they are going to start realizing that there was some estrangement that was going on there. And I do think it's because, and I think one of them lives in Los Angeles now. I think it's because they start to see other people, other children issue of celebrity relationships that did not have a crazy mixed up dramatic, hyper dramatic existence. I think they're going to start to see that. Hang on, OSV. I gotcha. All right. So let's skip over Q4 year from now. Theme of Q4, anxiety reduced. 3 of ooh, I don't like that. What is up with that? I do think that there is going to be something that happens next year around this time that kind of closes the door on relationship potential with her family. Which is so sad, because you don't want her to be out there on her own, but it's almost like she feels like if a cousin reaches out, or I know her brother is still friendly with her. But like if a cousin reaches out, she's like, yeah, I can't talk to you because I don't know if you're going to run back to my dad or run back to my mom or run over to the lawyers and try and talk to them about it. I can't talk to you. Like, yeah, she really can't trust any. She needs to surround herself with much, much better people. It's really tough. I think, those family relationships are really getting severed. So how will her romantic life be in the fourth quarter? Ooh, on fire. I think we're going to see a hot dude that she is a hot dude by the end of next year. And she's a type. Like, let's face it, Kevin Federline is not her type. But the Sam Asghari archetype is really her type. That, kind of dark, dark hair, dark eyed, very, very ripped out, 7% body fat kind of guy. And I think she'll be with somebody next year. I think, Gregory. This is Gregopedia, tall, dark, and handsome. Alexandra, that's my husband, Gregopedia, commenting from 6 feet away from me. So yeah, I think next year she'll have a hot man, but I don't think it's going to stick. I don't think she's going to stay with him. And I think that this may be something that she gets into a pattern of. Yeah, she has a really good looking guy that she's hanging out with. What about her personally, her mental health? I want to see her mental health. I am going to predict that she goes into a different kind of therapy before the end of 2026. And I think that it's going to be like a medical therapeutic process to help her further detox from all of the medications that she was on, all of the substances that she had to take. So I think she's going to do something that's perhaps a little radical, perhaps a little new by the end of the year, and that'll be an ongoing process. I think it's very difficult for her to kind of come out of all of that. All of the stuff that she's been on. So overall, how is Britney going to finish out her year before I get to your questions? Not transforming significantly, but starting to transform is what we're seeing. She is doing and trying to get to the goal and the end result as quickly as possible. But I do think that someone in her therapeutic group says, slow it down. This is a process. And the better we build this house, heritage lumber, if you ever buy an older home, there's heritage lumber in it. And what does that mean? The trees actually grew slower because they grew naturally. And so the woods were harder. It just was a better quality of wood. Whereas now we grow forests for commercial purposes. So we do have to grow them fairly quickly. And there's some extra growth spurting that goes in there. That same concept here for her recovery is really key. She needs to recover just as slowly as she got to where she is. So, guys, we've got a solid 15 minutes to answer your questions. So I'm going to close the questions for now because I got a ton. And then I got to go to physical therapy. And I'm going to, we have a new acupuncturist over at my PT clinic. So does Britney have a good relationship with her parents? Right now with mom, it's okay. It's not great. How about with dad? Dad, she's extremely guarded. So no, I don't think that it's necessarily a great relationship. Is that a needle and thread, Greg?
Yeah, they don't have a regular needle.
What was the needle for?
Acupuncture.
Oh, acupuncture. Will Britney ever have another relationship with Justin Timberlake? No, absolutely not. The medical procedure she had to have is unforgivable. She can't come back after that. No. Will Britney ever be able to rebuild her relationship with the kids? And this is going to be outside of 2026. We'll go into the future. Is she ever going to rebuild her relationship with Sean Preston? That one looks like it's a little tricky. I think Sean Preston is much more reluctant to have a relationship with her where he feels calm and natural. How about with Jaden? I think the relationship is really strained with both kids. I think it is. I think it is really, really, really strained. Now, remember, I don't want to say that this is, things that I predict are not infallible. There's always free will. There's always therapy. There's always getting in there and getting the proper help and proper attention. So I'm not going to say that this is the worst thing. What does she need to do to repair the relationship with Sean Preston? 1, 2, 3. Unfortunately, that Tower card says that something big has to happen. Something cataclysmic and dramatic that gives them a whole new start. If they live in Hawaii, it would be like prediction, volcano, earthquake, those kinds of things. They would have to come back. Would that be a challenging situation, a challenging start? Yes. But I do think it would be a good foundation for Sean Preston. You know, baby, you got to live with me. Sorry. Them having to move back to California. Yes, Alexander. What about Jaden? Jaden, I think, is a little warmer to her, especially if something unfortunate happened and they had to move back to California. Alexander, I think you are onto something here, having them move back to California. I'm wondering if that is going to happen. Or these boys, is something going to happen that they have to move back to California and they need a place to live? Is something going to happen? I think Kevin Federline's going to lose his house. I'm just saying. I think they're not going to have a place to live in Hawaii anymore. Does that mean Kevin Federline and his wife, Victoria, whatever her name is, they move back? I don't think that they can afford to live there anymore. And I think that they probably have to relocate back to California. Probably like the worst possible thing to ever happen to Kevin Federline. All right, so I'll answer this clone question. Has Britney been replaced by a clone? I just threw cards all over the place. Sloppy shuffle. Huh?
Paul McCartney.
No, Paul McCartney was just replaced by another dude.
What is it? By a clone or lookalike?
All right, before I pull cards on this, drop a 1 in the chat if you believe Britney is the same old Britney. Drop a 2 in the chat if you think she's a clone. I got a lot of 1s. I'm doing a 1 too. A 1. Oh, okay. All right. Everybody thinks she's same old Britney. Yeah, Alexander, I was just going to say that. I think she has been very, very traumatized.
Agreed.
Yeah, very traumatized. So, okay. So, and there's a channel out there that thinks she is 3 OSV. You're funny. There's a channel out there that thinks that she was possibly part of trained as like a honeypot. What am I trying to say, Greg? Government, like a government asset. Yeah. And I do think that they really knocked out a lot of what goes. MK Ultra. Thank you, Penny here to say thank you, Alexander. Everyone's at MK Ultra. Let's say, should we yell the Clintons next?
Well,
helicopters are flying over our house right now. I don't think that she'll ever be the same, but
talk about Mount Shasta too.
I think she can recover. I do think she can recover. It's just a matter of leaving all of that behind. And sometimes when you're traumatized, you have to walk away from the whole situation. You can't look back over your shoulder. You'll turn into a pillar of salt like Lot's wife. Did I make a biblical reference?
Yes.
Did.
Either that or it was that Dudley Moore movie where he was like the analog of Moses. He was the guy who was originally in the basket, then he got pushed out of the way by Moses.
What movie was that? I love Dudley Moore.
I wasn't even not. Oh God, that was but it had God in the title. Like Richard Pryor was Ramses.
Oh God,
it's a great movie.
We'll look it up. Maybe we'll see. I'm taking tonight off. I'm not doing readings tonight. So how is The Woman in Me, the biopic, going to go? Very well. Ooh. Holy Moses?
That was the name of the movie.
I think the movie is going to be great. However, let me move these up so you guys can see it there. However, what I do think is that they are going to have to change a few things about that movie, about the script. Um, yeah, right, Solarian? Yeah, right. I think they're going to have to change some of the timeline and some of the stories that they tell. I don't think she's going to be really comfortable with it. I think they're going to negotiate some of the storylines, some of the anecdotes that are in there. And I think she's going to fight it, but ultimately she's going to um, acquiesce to some of what they want to do. So, Alexander, that was what I was referring to. I'm just going to pop that up on the screen. That's what I was referring to when I said she needs to detox, because there is such a thing as L poisoning when you get too much of it. And I do think that she's dealing with some of that. And I know she characterized it as brain damage. I don't think it's necessarily brain damage. They probably said the brain has been damaged, but I think they're gonna do a detox of that, and try and sort her out a little bit better. So what was up with being in bed kissing the Kardashians? What was up with that whole thing? Kardashians did it. That was a Kardashian moment. That wasn't a Britney moment. So they asked her if she wanted some promotion. They said, "Why don't you come over? It'll be really fun." Um, has it done her any good? Meh, maybe a little, maybe a little. I think that, having Kris Jenner be in charge of your career is not the worst thing in the world if you need to restore the coffers, and put money back in your bank account. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. So, will Jamie Lynn ever realize how horrible she has been? Will she ever realize that? Five of Pentacles. 10 of Swords. No, she is, and I describe myself as a mercenary all the time. I'm like, I'm a mercenary. I think she is always going to look at the glasses half full. And I didn't get, but Britney got. I wasn't allowed to have that, but Britney got it. And now she's just wasting all her money and I'm here poor. And the reality is that, Jamie Lynn got to live pretty high on the hog for a long time and not really doing anything. Most 16-year-olds, when they get pregnant, go into a complete panic attack. And she had no worries about that. She knew everything was going to be okay because there was the Britney money machine behind her. She knew she wasn't going to have to buy diapers. She was going to be perfectly fine. So I think she's going to just keep going and, having her little Jamie Lynn Spears events. Every now and then we hear about them. So let me go over here. Will Britney and Felicia ever reconnect? I don't think so. I don't think Britney trusts her. I don't think she trusts her at all. I think she's worried that she's part of the old regime, so to speak. So I don't think she'll get in there. Should she though? Should she? That's a different question, right? I don't know if she should. Because I think that there are people that will take advantage of Felicia as well, if that makes sense. I think there are people that will kind of wiggle in the Britney back door through Felicia. And I think I think you're right. She has a very good heart, but I think that's part of the problem here is that Britney needs people that have really good bullshit meter, a bullshit detector. And she needs to have people around her that are like, no, you can't see Miss Spears right now. You can't speak to her right now. She's having her bath. Is her brother a toxic element in her life? Good question. Kay Manikas, one of my BFFs. Guys, my buddy Rob Fuzz that's here that knows where the bodies are buried. Kay knows where more of them are buried. Kay helped bury them. No, seriously. Kay's amazing. She's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Is her brother a toxic element? Brian Spears. Yeah, she's got to cut that boy out.
The face should be in a can of
olive oil.
Yeah.
Feta cheese.
No.
Greg says that Kay's face should be on a can of olive oil because she looks like grease.
She looks not Greece. Like she looks like the country.
She looks like the country of Greece. I did the face thing. So, no, her brother is firmly embedded with the family. Honestly, she can't trust him. Does he encourage her to do bad things? He tries to direct the traffic with her, tries to direct her behavior. And I think that is a really, really bad thing, because I do think that he will literally drive her in the direction of seeing other people in the family. Like, oh, let's go stop over here because why not? We'll go see so-and-so and hang out for a little while and put her in kind of an awkward position. When she says, I want to go, he's like, no, we'll just hang out for like another 10 minutes. We'll just be here for a little bit longer. Don't worry about it. And like, no, I want to go right now. I want to leave. So I do think he's a toxic element. I don't trust him. So I want to highlight Cindy, who just gave us a nice little Christmas present. Cindy, we will buy our Christmas pudding with that. Thank you so much. Very generous of you, sweetie pie. Cindy, I actually was going to highlight, I was going to do a post with your video you did on grieving through the holidays. But I think I'm also going to do a video on why I will not read on Erica Kirk or the Charlie Kirk situation. I think, with all the hubbub that's been going on with Candace Owens and everything, a lot of people are asking me to do readings on Charlie Kirk and on Erica Kirk and like, what is she up to? And I think it's very unfair. I'm not touching Erica Kirk with a 10-foot pole. I'm just not doing it. I think that woman deserves to have a lot of time to herself. And I thought she was there on the day of the assassination. I didn't realize that she was not. I thank God that she was not, but it was all over the internet. So I hope that she was spared seeing that, because it was quite horrible. But boys and girls, thank you very much, Cindy. I wish I could go work. Oh, okay. You would be great in the Britney Spears universe. Britney Spears, hire Kay to work for you because she is, what's that?
As her PR person, or her HR person.
Oh, she could be her PR person, her HR person, her accountant. Like, Kay doesn't mess around. She doesn't mess around. Okay, so I'll tell you, Kay, I'm telling you a funny story. So I only have a couple minutes before I have to go, but so Kay's family has a house in Greece, and you know what story I'm telling, Kay. You know what story I'm telling. They had an old outhouse that had to get knocked down, and her father mentioned it to her, and she was like, okay, we'll do it. And she woke up early in the morning. I think she was still like on East Coast time, New Jersey time. And she went out there with the sledgehammer and took down the whole brick shit house. I can't even say it any other way. She took down a brick shit house and got a reputation around the neighborhood that they called her, and I don't know how to say it in Greek, the American woman who works like a man. And she actually got a guy was interested in her as a result. She had an offer of marriage because she was the American woman who works like a man. But no, honestly, guys, she's stunningly beautiful. She's absolutely gorgeous. So thank you so much for being here. This is super exciting for me. I'm loving doing this. So we'll meet back up here again next year. And we'll grade this reading. Hopefully I'm on par with this one as well. I may even do deeper dives in production videos on these. Wearing a sports bra and shorts, I am not shocked at all. She really did that. Like some of you people that watch my channel, think I make up some of these stories. I don't. My life has been crazy. I have crazy friends with a sledgehammer. I love it. I love it. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for encouraging me and supporting the channel and doing all that stuff. I am blown away by my accuracy rating right now with AI. I'm just blown away by it. So I hope you guys are too. As always, if you want your own magical reading, I will be live on Hypsee for the rest of the weekend. I'm not going to be live on Hypsee tonight. And I do want to remind you, Otter Spirit, you can use the link that is in the description of this video to go over and make some purchases at Otter Spirit. We're getting close to the deadline for shipping before the holiday. If you're in the United States, with the code Fortune 30, you save 30% off purchases of $99 or more. Fortune 20, you can save 20% on any purchase. But all that is in the description of the video. But as always, I love everyone here. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for spending this time with me. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a fun day. I'm going to get up early. I'm going to do a video. I think I'm going to do the members into the general audience live, and then I'll be live for the rest of the day. So it'll be a great way to start out Saturday. Possibly no production video. We'll just do lives tomorrow, and then we'll have a great time. So Carla, we got to get you over here to the US. You can come hang out with me and Kay. We'll have some fun. We'll go bananas. Solarian, love having you here. You are like a top 5 fan. You are always here. So love it, love it, love it. I want to throw some applause out for my mods. I have amazing mods out there. So applause for them. And a big gong for Kay. Everybody, I am going to head over to physical therapy, and I will see you all. When's that going to happen, Greg?
In the future.
In the future. I'll see you later.